Welcome to Shift by Bacardi.
G'day lovely humans, my name's Reece Southern. I'm here from Proof Cocktail Bar in Calgary, Alberta. Give a big ups and a thank you to Bacardi for chucking me back behind my kitchen and letting me do what I love, and that's teach you guys. Without further ado, let's check in for my shift. We're doing a little segment today called How Is It Made? I wanted to change it up and do a little two-part component. I know that everybody's trying a lot of new things at home at the moment and getting into the more complicated styles of preparation or bartending is there's no time like the present. What we're doing today is we're making a cocktail that I've aptly named Existential Clarity. So for this, we'll be using the lovely and ever prominent Patron Silver. So this is a premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave. Let's go. Patron, they do everything themselves, from their barreling to their bottles to the spirit they make. I've been told by some friends that have been to the distillery that the whole process only takes 60 hands. That's a small production team to create such an expressive tequila. And then we have some Banana Liqueur in here, a little bit of coconut water, a house-made horchata. And horchata is a classical Mexican beverage that is made from rice, blanched almonds, so uncooked rice, blanched almonds, cinnamon, whole milk and water. This is a different style that I've made especially for this cocktail, Existential Clarity, using whole milk and not cut with water whatsoever. So what you do is you take rice, blanched almonds, sugar, blend it all together in a fine powder, and then you leave that to steep in water overnight. But instead we've axed the water out and we just put whole milk straight over the top of it to give it a lovely, sweet, cinnamony, slightly grainy style of milk. And that's very prominent for what we need for this cocktail. Okay, and then of course we have our acidic component, which is lime juice. What I've done is combined the citrus, so the lime juice, the coconut water, the banana liqueur, and Patron Silver in here. And then what you need to do is to create a milk punch, which is a technique used for over 150 years, and it's just started to come back into popularity through clarification. So to start off by making this, what you need to do is you take your horchata, which is the base of milk, and you're going to want to scald it on the stove. So just in a saucepan, you're going to bring it up till there's bubbles rising around the center. You need to continuously stir because horchata is quite grainy, so if you do not, it will turn into rice pudding in the pot. So we're stirring and we're scalding it, so when the steam starts to rise, the milks become hot, and what happens is on a molecular level, everything starts to stretch out. And these things inside the milk, they act like jellyfish, so they stretch right out when it's hot, and then they trap all of the particles and everything, and once it starts to cool, everything goes back together. So it grabs everything in there and starts the clarification process. So we scald the milk and then we add that in to our other mixture of Patron Silver, banana liqueur, coconut water, and lime juice. And what the acid does is it curdles the milk and creates this sort of grainy texture. It looks quite gross now, but once you filter it, it becomes very delicious. So the next step you need is either cheesecloth or a nut bag. Drain through this to get all the top layer of curds out. And then finally, you put it through a coffee filter. So what this little thing here that I have, it's called a Chemex. It's basically just a pour over coffee maker, except the analog version. So it doesn't do it for you, you just pour your hot water over it. In this case, we just put a coffee filter in and we poured the curdled mixture over the top. And as that strains through, it starts to clarify. You're going to probably need to run it through 2 or 3 times. So for now, I'm just going to let this in gravity do its magic, and I'll come back to you when we're ready to go. So now that we've spent all that lovely time straining it off, we end up with that clarified liquid. We discard all of the curds and all of the gunk that's come off the strainer. So I'm going to do 2.5 ounces over a nice large ice cube. Now to garnish it, I'm just going to take a star anise pod, like so, and just toast it lightly on the outside. We don't want to burn it, we just want it to be nice and warm and to have a lovely spiced aroma. Just place that one right on top of the ice cube like so. And there we have it, guys. Existential Clarity. Thanks for joining me for my shift of how it's made. During this time, I would encourage you all to step outside of your comfort zones and, try something new that you've never done before. It's the perfect way to impress your friends when you can finally have everyone around again. It's the perfect cocktail to start off your at-home happy hour, finish your at-home happy hour, have after dinner, have when the sun's out, have when it's raining. It's that beauty in between. So thanks for joining in for my shift. Thank you, Bacardi. Happy mixing, guys.